Well lads, how we going? Bit of a new video today. Today I am going to cover how to do a j160 6-speed conversion in your Ae86 20 valve or 16 valve. I have it done in my car about a year now and I find it brilliant, especially with motorway driving. I think it's very good with the 6th gear. Third to 4th shift is absolutely beautiful. 2nd gear is very long as well, I find, for drifting, so it's very useful for me. I'm running a Pajero 4.4 rear axle, so I know it probably differs, which are obviously your different crown wheel opinions, but for me I find it very good anyway. So when I done this conversion, there wasn't any videos to show me how to do it, or wasn't much guidance, so I'm going to try help you as best as I can. Some people might find this useful, some people mightn't. If you know someone that might get some use from this video, just make sure you give them a share and I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks. Now, some of the parts are fitted to my car already, which I don't want to take off because my clutch is bedded in where it is, so I don't want to go upsetting it, but I'm still going to talk you through it step by step, so this should be easy. So the first thing you're going to buy is a j160 gearbox out of a Lexus IS200. When you buy the gearbox, make sure that you get the prop shaft with it, and make sure that you get the clutch slave cylinder for it as well. The second thing you're going to buy is a lexibrake 4AG to j160 adapter plate. Now I have it bolted up already because of course I was driving this car. It's very easily bolted on. It's just behind the flywheel. There's 2 bolts up here. You have to take off the backing plate as well, as you won't need that. So when you buy this as a kit, it comes with the plate, all the nuts and bolts, your spigot ring spacer. I don't know if you can see that, but it comes in the box. You also get the release bearing spacer as well. That comes fully supplied with the new release bearing, and you get the new spigot bearing as well. So you get all that with it as well, which is pretty good. The next thing you're going to have to buy is a j160 to Ae86 gearbox mount. I designed this one. This is the first one I designed, so the newer one is a lot better. It's up to date. It can be bought on the website as well. The link will be in the description, so you can visit the site and you can buy all these parts. So that just bolts on normally straight underneath the factory fitting, the rubber. So very straightforward. The next thing you're going to buy is a j160 shifter relocation kit from lexibrake as well. So I'll just quickly show you how this goes together. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Everything kind of comes with it. Just put that piece on there and you get a new bolt with it as well. Now I'm just going to roughly put this together because this part you put on outside and the rest goes on when you're inside the car. So simply drop this lad down on top. There's dowels in it. With a tip down, 4 bolts in here. Then you have your j160 shifter as well, so make sure you get that with the gearbox, which you should anyway, but make sure you do. There's a bracket that goes on here. You can just do away with all that, you don't need any more. So your shifter goes on like so, goes in there, blah blah blah. I don't need to clip that down fully because I'll show you that later in the video when I have it in the car, but that's how that mechanism goes together. And then your next step is going to be grinding the gearbox. Now this is the first one I done. Maybe I went a bit overkill. The guide is from the Toyota sign over to whatever that is there. So grind down all the fins, take a small bit off here and take a small bit off the back of where the starter goes in. So that was my first one I done. I blew that gearbox because the rear seal went and leaked out all the oil. Here's the second one I done. Kind of stuck to the same scenario really. So I definitely have to do this for clearance. So make sure you do this. If you have any questions, drop a comment and I will answer. So after I finish that, once you have your adapter plate fitted to the car, your starter bolts to the adapter plate. Now the only problem I found with this was you have a high torque and a low torque starter. Now Dave is after coming out with a new spacer, so you can run a j160 IS200 starter, which is better. Now another thing I find is this originally has a fin on the back, which I'm going to show you. Now, when this is all together, it does get stuck when you're putting in the gearbox. So I find if you just nip this, because you're not actually affecting the bushing, because you're only taking the corner off, it just fits so much better. Now you can actually grind off the corner of the gearbox. I done this on my first one. On the second one I went with the starter option, so whichever one you prefer yourself, but I think this is just faster, simpler and less grinding. So once you have all your grinding done and all your parts together, starter ground down, so there is the starter bolted in with the back cut off it, as you see. There is the adapter plate. I'm sorry about the lighting, but there's the adapter plate right there. All the hardware comes with that. New nuts and bolts. Your original obviously plug just goes straight on, so that's pretty straightforward. So that's with a 16 valve flywheel, 16 valve pressure plate, and I have it's an old Toyota Supra clutch disc is what works with the j160 gearbox. I'll leave a link for 16 valve and 20 valve clutch discs for whichever one suits you. Again, any questions, just let me know. So then after that, what you're going to do is you're going to get your clutch slave cylinder. On the twin cams you have a copper pipe and then a flexi pipe, but if you take off the flexi pipe you can bolt this straight on, because it actually comes with enough length, the copper one, that it actually bends up in over the gearbox, which is so handy. So just bend it up out of the way like that, and it's actually literally in position. It's like they kind of knew that someone was going to do this. And as for the prop shaft, so when you buy your j160 gearbox, you can get a full prop shaft with it if you want, or else just ask them for the front half. The rear half is going to be your existing prop shaft, so you're going to get your distance from the back of the diff. I'll show you exactly where you're going to measure to the front of the prop, and then bring it to a local engineering shop. If you want to weld it yourself you can, but I find it's better to actually get it made and get it balanced, so it takes all road noises and vibrations out. I got this done off a crowd down in Carnew, Naylor Engineering. I've been using them for all my props so far, so I find them very good. If you're local to Ireland, you should give them a shout. I have the measurements there as well, so they're very easy to deal with. Right, so the next tip I can give you, I found out the hard way. Some people are going to call me rash, right? So yes, I did hit in my tunnel with a hammer because I couldn't get the gearbox in, but then I realised when I was doing a customer's car I couldn't do that, so I had to come up with another solution. So if you actually drop off your subframe mounts, you get like 20 mil. So if you loosen all four of those subframe bolts, you will drop at 20 mil, and my god, if I knew that the first time, this would have been so easy. So that's as much as you need to know underneath the car. It's actually so straightforward. As I said, look, you get all the hardware, all the bolts. Lexibrake gives you everything you need, so everything that's going into it is new. So the main reason I pulled apart my car is because the starter went. So I'm running the new j160 starter and adapter. Actually swings the car over way faster, so that's pretty good, and it has its pros and its cons. So the cons are, if you want to change the starter you have to take off the gearbox because it's bolted from the plate out. The good news is I could test the starter without putting on the gearbox, so much. So that's tested, that's working now. So what I'm going to do is put my shifter back on the box, well, the bottom half of the shifter. I'm going to get the box back into the car, and then pretty much show you how everything lines up. I might actually just do a quick video of me putting the box in the car. Now I am on my own in the shed today, so it could take a small bit longer, but I'll give it my best shot. Right, heads up, right, those gearboxes are not light, so I'm actually getting it up on the gearbox jack. Absolutely walloped my head off the corner of the lift while I was lifting it up. I thought I was the right fella. I said I'd lift it up nice and quick, and I knocked myself out and I dropped the gearbox, but it's up. Also, if I'm talking too fast for anyone, because I've been told that people from Ireland talk too fast, I can help. If anyone has any questions, just drop a comment, or follow the FitzFab Instagram page and drop me a message, and I'll guide you through as best as I can. There's the gearbox mount fitted, just so you can see, just 4 bolts underneath, bolts straight on onto the factory rubber. And this lad is now bolted up, so we are ready to put in this gearbox. Actually went so easy. That's it, up into position, that's it, against the plate there now. Like, this is what I was trying to explain about the 20mm drop here. It just made my life so much easier. Like, that actually took no length. I know it looks fast on the time lapse, but that actually didn't take any time. So I'm just going to finish putting off all the bolts. There's no point videoing that because that's boring enough. So I'll finish putting in all the bolts, and then I'm going to show you where you need to measure for your prop, and then I'll show you how to put the shifter relocation kit inside the car. Then I need to fix my exhaust. Let's go get gearbox oil as well, actually. Do that, and then I can show you how the car sounds shifting. It sounds lovely, so let's do all that first. So the gearbox is fully bolted up underneath. Next thing I have to do is the reverse switch. So on the twin cam, it just has like these 2 circle clips. I'm not sure if you can see that. So I changed the spade connections, and the Ae86 gearbox, same, changed the spade connections. So just simply join them together. If they're the wrong way around, you'll know. So that's straightforward. And then, as I was saying about the slave cylinder, it looks like, see how well, like, once you just when you actually pull it around the other side, it literally just pretty much lines up. So it's pretty good. So I'm going to bolt that on now and bolt up and connect up my reverse switch. Sorry, my bad, rookie mistake. I only have all the bolts kind of just barely pinched because I want to tighten up top ones first. So yeah, don't put your clutch slave in till after you tighten up all the bolts, or else you will not get to that one there, and the ones further up. So I'm going to I'm going to drop the car down and tighten up the bolts up top. So the car dropped down now, I'm just going to tighten the bolts. There's 2 up at the top. Now, when I say 2, there's 3 up at the top, but I only put 2 in just because I do a lot of track days. I do a lot of drifting with this car, so I want to be able to drop the box quickly, and there's 1 bolt up the very top that you need about 75 extensions for, and it's just awkward. So if I'm at the track and my gearbox blows and if someone has a gearbox, I want just to be able to drop it out fairly quickly. So I don't have the top right looking in towards the engine. I don't have that bolt in, but that's just me personally. So some people might put them all in, but yeah, I don't need it. So that's the 2 top bolts tightened. I just said I could give you a quick look at my engine and my bay. I'm running a 20 valve engine. I'm running it on Link ECU. It was bought out of a rally car. I've never actually opened up this engine, so I don't know if or what is done to it. I'm just running some flows, 100mm trumpets, R8 coils, Link ECU, aluminium rad, aftermarket manifolds. Yeah, nothing too crazy, but it does, if you've seen any of my videos, this car sure moves. So I'm going to just throw it back up in the air once again, tighten all the rest of the gearbox bolts, and put on the slave. So my clutch slave fully bolted up, everything is fully bolted up to do with the gearbox and tightened up, reverse sensor plugged in, so that's that finished. Next is the prop shaft. Now, as I was saying about the prop shaft before, you will have the front half of an Ae86 prop shaft, J160, and the rear half of Ae86. Now mine looks different because I have a Pajero back axle, so that's why mine's so beefy. So depending on the engineering crowd you're using, maybe ring them first and ask them where their preferred measurement. Some people like you to take the measurement from, sorry about this side so you can see, like, some people like the measurement from the face of the spline to the center of the bolt holes. Then other people like from the face of the diff the whole way to the face. Some people use the face of the gearbox, but always allow 10-20 mil for forward and back movement. So I'm going to bolt this up now. I have a measurement for 16 valve standard rear rear twin cam casing for the J160, so I actually have that measurement if anyone needs it. So I'm just going to throw this up now. So it's not much of a video, I'll just throw this in because I'm on my own, so I have to probably use my shoulder and everything else. Right, so that is the prop fully bolted up. Everything is working as it should. Fairly straightforward. I didn't need to record doing that, but any questions, once again let me know. I'm going to drop the car down now and do the shifter. So I'm just in the car now. You can see where the gearbox comes up. This is where your shifter relocation comes into play. So the headstock unit that literally just sits straight down onto these 4 existing bolts that's already there. Pretty straightforward. Size 12. Put that in by hand. Yeah, it's actually it's a great design. I find it's really nice anyway. It works well, especially for motorway driving. The whole reason I made this video, as I said, when I was going doing it, there wasn't much information, so I was kind of just guessing everything, going back and forth. So there's a couple of little videos here and there on YouTube, but nothing really into detail, so hopefully this video might help some of that stock. And then more 6-speed twin cams on the road. So yeah, that's that bit. So now that this is all bolted down, you have your J160 shifter. Now this does sit 2 ways, right? So one way keeps it over this side more, the other way keeps it over this side more. So I suppose I think it's something to do with the lockout originally, but for me I prefer when it's sitting a bit this way, because or else the gears are off over here somewhere. So these are not just a walk in the park to get in either. They are actually so complicated. I'm going to try to do it here on camera if I can. This is usually a pain in the hole, so I might have to just throw down the... Oh, no way. Okay, right, I got it. But as I said, yeah, so now you can see it's sitting backwards, so I need to flip this up, flip it the other way, and then try to get it in as fast as I just got it that time, which is just not going to happen, is it? No, it is just not going to happen. Right, give me... Oh wait, no, never mind. Right, let me get this in and I'll start recording again. Right, so it turned out I just had that slightly off and it actually only took me another couple of seconds to bolt down. So once this is in, now your gears are all in play. So underneath the J160 shifter is 4 holes, and you just put oh Jesus, I already dropped that. Just put the 4 little M8s in it. Oh, I'm gonna try to do this. Oh my goodness, just 2 seconds. No. It should have been so much easier if I had a second person. Right, so basically, yeah, you can see where the bolts go in. Put these 4 bolts in. I'll just do this quickly and tighten it down. So that's all bolted up now. That actually took me longer to bolt, to get this one bolt up in the corner. Took me longer to put that in than it did to put that gearbox in. Now, so just slip on this rubber cover back down once all bolted up. Perfect. Now, next step, depending on what way you have it done, I have the hydro mount that bolts onto my original bolt holes, and then I have the original shifter that lines up with the same bolt holes, shifter boot. So I'm going to bolt all this up now and show you what it looks like. So that's it, all bolted back up, the original plastics back in, the original boot. Like, it's Now obviously mine hits the hydro, but other than that, sits a small bit lower than normal shifter, but I don't mind, I'm used to it now at this stage. So that's as much information as I have at the minute about that. Hopefully there's enough information there to help someone out. I'm just going to go get some gearbox oil now, fill up my gearbox. I'm going to repair my exhaust quickly, and I'm going to throw it on the car, and I'm going to bring it for a drive and show you what it's like through the gears. Yeah, hopefully this might get someone out of a hole anyway, because it would have definitely helped me out. So I'm just back from Toyota. I just went over and got my gearbox oil. Only the best. So I'm going to throw the gearbox oil in. I have my exhaust repaired as well, and I will go for a spin and show you what the gear changes are like. So that's the car filled up with gearbox oil now. Personally, I think that's the most horrible job you can do, because gear oil stinks. Another thing I will say is make sure you tighten back up your subframe, because I know most people will probably just get excited near the end and want to test drive the car, but don't forget to tighten your subframe. Now have the exhaust fully bolted back up, repaired, ready to go. It's a G-Ready Trust DD. I just think they're the most aggressive mean exhaust you can put on an 86. So I'm going to drop the car down, just double check that the starter and all is still working, and then I'll bring it for a spin and show you the gear shifting. Let's see how it sounds. The Ae86 200 starter is definitely faster at turning it over, so I'm fucking fairly happy with that. I'll bring it for a spin now and I'll show you what it's like up through the gears. So that's all from me. Hopefully that video helps out someone. It might get them out of a hole, it might help someone with their conversion. If anyone has any questions at all, as I said, drop a comment, follow the Instagram page. If you're interested in more stuff like this, drop a like, drop a subscription, and that's all from me. Good luck.